Morning and greetings from Northumberland. As you can see, the sky is lightening behind me as we approach 7:30 on the 18th of February, which today is a Friday. I told you it was a Friday yesterday. I also had a further piece of feedback from Janane Lawum, a friend of ours, Janet, who worked in Tanzania, said in an office where she worked, there was a picture of the Archbishop and a quote. The quote says this roughly: he was asked if he was in a room with Idi Amin and he was handed a gun, what would he do? He said he would hand the gun to Amin and say, I believe this is your weapon. My weapon is love. That's a very powerful tribute to someone who went to the very end in giving his life in love for the people he served. Which leads me on, both the storm outside and that quote from Janane Lawum leads me on to the extract from the letter of James, which can be read today. And it's about faith and works. James says this: what good is it, my brothers and sisters, if you say you have faith but do not have works? Can faith save you? If a brother or a sister is naked and lacks daily food, and one of you says to them, go in peace, keep warm, and eat your fill, and yet do not supply their bodily needs, what is the good of that? So faith by itself, if it has no works, is dead. It's a powerful statement from the letter of James. And I think when I think back over these last 2 years now since our first lockdown from COVID, the most powerful witnesses I've seen have been people who have let their faith and their belief motivate them. People caring for neighbours, people reaching out into the community, the continued amazing work of food banks in an era where there should be no food banks. The people who have put their faith into action. It's a challenge for all of us. Our faith must spread out into the way in which we live and love. As Janane Lawum said in that quote, our weapon, God's weapon, the power of God, is shown most completely when we love one another. We pray today for those who will be affected by this storm. We pray for those who are troubled by the storms of life. We pray that we can do our very best to care for them and to show and live by God's weapon of love. May God bless us all today in this storm and in the storms of life.